The Senior Bowl is over and the NFL Combine is just around the corner, so that means we're officially in the middle of draft season. Every team in the NFL is as well, so today we'll be taking a look at each team and analyzing what they could choose to do with their first round pick in our third mock draft of the year. So without further ado, we'll get started with the first pick, where the Chicago Bears are selecting quarterback Caleb Williams from USC. The Bears are in the process of building a very good roster, and now they just need a great quarterback to top it off. Luckily for them, they have the first pick in this year's draft thanks to the ridiculous trade that they made with the Panthers last year, and they'll take advantage of that by grabbing Caleb Williams. He isn't the generational prospect that some thought he would be, but he's still great and will elevate Chicago into playoff contention. At number 2, the Washington Commanders are selecting quarterback Jaden Daniels from LSU. Daniels has seen his draft stock steadily rise over the past few weeks, and in this scenario, he'll go at number 2 over Drake May. His elite athleticism is what really sets him apart, and there are many people that think he could be the next Lamar Jackson. If that's the case, the Commanders are getting a steal with this pick. At number 3, the New England Patriots are selecting quarterback Drake May from UNC. The era of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is over in New England, and they'll need to take Drake May here if they want to have a chance at returning to their former glory. The UNC quarterback has drawn comparisons to Justin Herbert, and even if he's a little rough around the edges, he's a clear upgrade over Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. At number 4, the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. This is a dream come true for the Cardinals. They get the best player in the entire draft without having to move up at all, and they also perfectly fix one of their positions of need. He's probably the safest pick in the draft and has very low potential to bust, and this is a good start in building Arizona's roster to compete with the 49ers in the NFC West. At number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers select tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia. Greg Roman was recently hired to be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, and that makes Bowers the ideal pick for them. They need more playmakers on offense, and Roman loves utilizing tight ends a lot, like we saw him do with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely in Baltimore, so this pairing would work perfectly. Herbert hasn't had a weapon this dynamic in his entire career. At number 6, the New York Giants select wide receiver Malik Nabers from LSU. The Giants have had one of the worst receiver rooms in the NFL for years, but they'll get the perfect opportunity to change that with this pick. Malik Nabers is an absolutely elite talent coming out of LSU, and many people think that he would be the top wideout in most draft classes. This is an easy pick for New York to make. At number 7, the Tennessee Titans select offensive tackle Joe Alt from Notre Dame. Joe Alt is widely regarded as one of, if not the, best offensive linemen in this entire class, and he projects to be a great left tackle in the NFL. And that's exactly what the Titans need. They solidified the interior of the offensive line by taking Peter Skoronski in the first round in last year's draft, but the left tackle position was still a mess, which could be fixed by starting Alt in his first year. At number 8, the New York Jets are trading up with the Atlanta Falcons and selecting offensive tackle Olu Fashanu from Penn State. With one of the elite offensive lineman prospects now off the board, the Jets are trading up with the Falcons to secure the other. Olu Fashanu is the best pass protector in this entire class, and the Jets desperately need to protect Aaron Rodgers with him coming off of a devastating Achilles injury that he suffered in 2023. With the 9th pick, the Chicago Bears are selecting wide receiver Rome Odunze from Washington. DJ Moore emerged as the true wide receiver 1 for the Bears in 2023, and they could build an elite wide receiver core if they take Odunze with their second pick in the first round. He was a cornerstone of Washington's team that went to the national championship, and having him on this offense would give Caleb Williams plenty of options to throw to. At number 10, the Atlanta Falcons select cornerback Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Nate Wiggins is going to be a guy that rises on big boards after the NFL Combine, and he will be the perfect player for the Falcons to take after trading back a couple of picks. AJ Terrell hasn't been as good as usual over the past couple of years, but he would improve with some help from Wiggins, and the two of them plus Jesse Bates would form a very good secondary in Atlanta. At number 11, the Minnesota Vikings select defensive lineman Jerzon Newton from Illinois. This has been an obvious pick for the Vikings all offseason. They desperately need help on the interior of the defensive line, and they could reasonably grab Newton with this pick, who is widely regarded as the best defensive tackle in this entire class. He would be a day 1 starter for them without a doubt. At number 12, the Denver Broncos are selecting edge rusher Laiatu Latu from UCLA. The Broncos were a bottom 5 team in terms of sacks last year, and they really just need more talent on the defensive front. They haven't been the same since trading away Bradley Chubb, but drafting Laiatu Latu could help to fix that. He's the best technician in this entire class, and the only thing that could stop him from being great is his health concerns. With the 13th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders are selecting cornerback Terrion Arnold from Alabama. After having a great season in 2023, Arnold is now being viewed as better than his teammate Kool-Aid McKinstry on many big boards. He's a smooth player in coverage and is elite against the run, and a high-energy player like him fits well into the new culture that Antonio Pierce is trying to build in Las Vegas. At number 14, the New Orleans Saints are selecting quarterback J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. I personally don't think McCarthy should go this high, but I don't know how the Saints will be able to resist him if he's here. He's a high upside player, and they could sit him and let him develop for a year with Derek Carr still under contract. It's clear that Carr isn't their long-term answer, so it could be a solid investment for the future for them. At number 15, the Indianapolis Colts are selecting offensive lineman Talisa Fuaga from Oregon State. Bernard Raymond took a big step up for the Colts in 2023, but they still need more help on the offensive line. Fuaga would be a great fit for them, especially because he has the versatility to play at tackle or guard at the pro level. He would be a day one starter for them, without a doubt. At number 16, the Seattle Seahawks select outside linebacker Dallas Turner from Alabama. Seattle's defense needs help in multiple different areas, and taking Dallas Turner can help with that. He thrives as an edge rusher, but he also has the versatility to drop back and play more of a traditional outside linebacker role. He's the type of dominant force on the defensive front that Mike McDonald loves. At number 17, the Jacksonville Jaguars select offensive lineman J.C. Latham from Alabama. The biggest positions of need for the Jaguars are on the offensive line, so this is a good draft class for them. They'll have somebody as talented as J.C. Latham falling to them at this pick, and he's an especially great fit because he can play on the outside as a tackle or on the inside as a guard. At number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals select offensive tackle Amarius Mims from Georgia. Mims didn't get to play a lot of games in college, but in his limited action, he showed that he has as high of a ceiling as any lineman in this class. He's already great as a right tackle, and with Orlando Brown Jr. holding down the left side of the offensive line, that's exactly what the Bengals need. At number 19, the Los Angeles Rams select cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. Kool-Aid was viewed as the top cornerback for this class for the past couple of seasons, but now for whatever reason, he's starting to drop on most people's big boards. Perhaps that's due to some prospect fatigue, but either way, the Rams will capitalize on his fall here. He'll be the true cornerback one that they've been missing ever since they traded away Jalen Ramsey. At number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers are selecting cornerback Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. Joey Porter Jr. has emerged as one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, but Pittsburgh will still need more help than him if they want to have a good secondary in 2024. Mitchell went under the radar during the season, but after a dominant performance in the Senior Bowl, he has officially played himself into being a top 20 pick. At number 21, the Miami Dolphins are selecting offensive lineman Troy Fautanu from Washington. Miami definitely didn't lack weapons on this offense, but what they do lack is consistent blocking. Their offensive line is mediocre at best, so someone like Troy Fautanu would help to elevate this unit in a big way. Adding him to this team won't be enough to get them over the hump, but it's a good start. With the 22nd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles are selecting cornerback Cooper DeJean from Iowa. Darius Slay and James Bradbury both took a major step back in 2023, and the Eagles need to get some young talent in the secondary if they want this defense to be elite once again. Cooper DeJean is all over the place in terms of draft stock, but this feels like a fair price for a versatile defensive back who projects to be a good run defender at the next level. At number 23, the Houston Texans are selecting defensive lineman Byron Murphy II from Texas. CJ Stroud and Nico Collins will take care of business on the offensive side of the ball, which will allow for D'Amico Ryans to get some help for their defense with their first round pick. Some people think that Murphy will rise up and claim the top interior lineman spot before the draft, but as of now, he should be available for the Texans to take with this pick. At number 24, the Dallas Cowboys are selecting offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. Dallas's offensive line isn't nearly as dominant as it used to be, but they're going to get an absolute steal with this pick. Powers Johnson is widely regarded as the best interior lineman in this entire class, and that sentiment was amplified by the dominant performance that he had at the Senior Bowl. This is as close to a can't-miss pick as they come. At number 25, the Green Bay Packers are selecting offensive lineman Graham Barton from Duke. David Bakhtiari's time in Green Bay is likely coming to an end soon, and they need to start getting some young talent on the offensive line to prepare for when that does happen. Graham Barton isn't getting talked about very much at this point in the draft process, but he's a great player who could turn into a cornerstone of the offensive line. With the 26th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are selecting wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Reports are that Mike Evans and the Buccaneers aren't close to agreeing on a new contract, so Tampa Bay will more than likely be on the hunt for a new wide receiver this offseason. Brian Thomas Jr. is far from a complete prospect, but he had a dominant season as the receiving touchdown leader in 2023 and should help to be a dynamic young option on the perimeter. At number 27, the Arizona Cardinals are selecting edge rusher Braylon Trice from Washington. The Cardinals are now set on the offensive side of the ball with Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Trey McBride, so they'll turn their attention to the defense. Arizona logged the third least sacks out of any team in football in 2023, so they'll need to grab the best player left on the board to help change that. In this case, that's Braylon Trice from Washington. At number 28, the Buffalo Bills are selecting wide receiver Xavier Legette from South Carolina. Stephon Diggs completely disappeared over the back half of the season, and with Gabe Davis now being a free agent as well, the Bills will need more weapons in 2023. Legette is far from a perfect prospect, but he has all of the physical tools necessary to become an elite player with proper development. At number 29, the Detroit Lions are selecting cornerback TJ Tampa from Iowa State. This class of cornerbacks is loaded with stars, and that's led to Tampa getting pushed down the board a little bit. He's a phenomenal football player, and he has the versatility to play as an outside cornerback or as a safety. That's perfect for a Detroit defense that needs help all over the secondary. At number 30, the Baltimore Ravens are selecting defensive lineman T'Vondre Sweat from Texas. Justin Matabuki is set to hit free agency and command a lot of money, so the Ravens will be likely to be on the search for a cheap replacement for him. Sweat is a fringe first rounder at this point, but after playing well at the Senior Bowl, Baltimore will be quick to snatch him up at this price. At number 31, the San Francisco 49ers are selecting offensive lineman Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. The offensive line is one of the weaker parts of San Francisco's roster, and they'll be quick to fix that up in this scenario. Tyler Guyton won't be ready to play on day one, but he has a super high upside and could be the eventual replacement for Trent Williams on Brock Purdy's blind side. With the 32nd overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs are selecting wide receiver Troy Franklin from Oregon. The Chiefs were able to pick up another Super Bowl title this year, but it was a bumpy ride getting there, largely thanks to the lack of playmakers on offense. All of their wide receivers outside of Rashee Rice had a terrible year, so grabbing somebody like Troy Franklin will be a substantial improvement for them, and it may even be enough to help them run it back again in 2024. And that's going to do it for our third mock draft of the year. What picks would you have changed? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching this video, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.